Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly. Jay Klein Connect here along with head coach Scott Langer. And Coach, let's go right into it. A breakdown of the weekend against Minot here at home. A 3-2 loss on Friday and a 4-1 win Saturday again against Minot. A strong start on Friday night, but Minot had a big third period. What did you think of the effort?
You know, the effort wasn't bad. I watched it on taping. I really got to see what kind of was going on. And, you know, during the game I was a bit frustrated. I thought we broke down quite a bit in our defensive posture, and they capitalized. But, you know, two of their goals ended up going off our body into the back of the net. You know, there was some fortunate, some goals there that, you know, and it's frustrating because we had our chances down the stretch, you know, to get that one back. One goal called off. But, you know, Minot played a good game, played good enough that game to find a way to beat us. But, you know, the bigger story was our response to that game come Saturday night.
Yeah, definitely. And Saturday night, gave up a couple of big shorthanded chances, but, man, Vernon was just lights out in that matchup, and a good energy. A lot of good things coming to take away from Saturday, I would think. What do you take away from Saturday's win?
Yeah, you know, we got on them. We got on them well. You know, I thought we played a real good game. We possessed the puck quite a bit, and you know, our specialty team was good. You know, we ended up scoring on the shorthanded as well, and you know, the play of Matt to let us settle in there. He made 2 or 3 big saves just to kind of give us an opportunity to win that game, and we capitalized on our goals. So. But, you know, we responded. You know, no one was happy about the way we lost that game on Friday night. And instead of just going the opposite way and being frustrated, I thought our guys stepped up to the challenge and played a great game at home.
And that's going to be really important down the stretch as, you know, the playoff push to be able to bounce back from a tough loss or a loss that maybe they get some extra puck luck or whatever. You mentioned it, Coach, a shorthanded goal for Riley Murphy that has him now tied for the all-time record for the franchise for shorthanded goals, tied with Tyler Bossert and Colin Raver. So congratulations to Riley Murphy on that. Going back to the beginning of last week, I wanted to recap kind of the top prospects tournament. And you've been a part of many of those events. How would you compare this one to previous events?
I thought the hockey was good. I thought, you know, all in all, the teams competed pretty hard. And it's always tough for those guys playing because most of them, just about all of them, play on the weekend.
Right.
And then have to get right into travel on Sunday. So it's not an easy event for any of those guys to play in. But I thought it was good. I thought that, you know, the pace of play and all the games that I got to watch, including the ones I got to coach, were very good. And they were all competitive, so I think that's the main part.
How about as far as like attendance and scouts and so on? Was it a pretty big event as far as that goes? Because it usually is.
Yeah, it's tough to tell in that facility. You know, the seating's not very good up there. Doesn't hold a lot of people. I thought that for the Central, I thought our first game was well attended. I wasn't too sure about the attendance on Tuesday morning. But, you know, a lot of those coaches, they pop in and out, and you get different ones on each different day. But, yeah, I mean, I thought that the North American Hockey League put on a great event.
Excellent. Well, Saturday night was the Shriners Teddy Bear Toss here at the ODI Center. 1,630, I think that's what I saw, that were in attendance. Great crowd on hand. And Brad Bilal makes the Bears fly. It's a pretty cool event and one that's special to you too, huh?
Yeah, you know, it is. It's a pretty big deal for me and my family. It's just because it relates back to a player that had a pretty terrible situation that you know, caused a death, and we like to honor him every year. You know, with the 21 Bears for the number that he wore, and you know, I'll never forget Peter Hallish, and I know my wife won't forget him, and everybody that was in Topeka during the whole thing won't forget him. And you know, I kind of brought that with me when I came here, and still think that Peter looks out for us. And it was great, special end. I thought there was a lot of Bears, and it was great that that Brad got that goal. I think he called it. So it's always fun when it goes in.
I think I read where there was 931 or 961, something like that, 900 and some change stuffed animals and bears that were collected for the Shriners Children's Hospital in Minneapolis. So that is awesome, and thank you to all that participated. Well, Coach, you've got Minot and Austin have been jostling back and forth for second and third, and you've got Austin coming up here on the horizon. Back to a usual work, or week, I should say, of preparation. What do you expect to see from the Bruins?
Well, I don't think they're going to change much. I mean, they're so good defensively and their goaltending's so tough, so they just don't give a whole lot up. They when you score against them, you earn it, and it takes a lot to score against them. So, for us, we have to be sharp defensively, and we can't have the breakdowns that we had against Minot. And on the other side of that, we're going to have to do everything we can and have a lot of energy to score goals. So, when our two teams play each other, it's those guys and us, it seems that we're doing a lot of adjusting during the fly of the game. So it's good hockey, two teams that really get up to play against one another, and they need the points, and so do we.
Yeah. Well, and Saturday night, power play goal, the kill was perfect all weekend. And I bring that up because the last time that the Wings and Bruins faced each other, especially the teams, seemed like it had a huge role, more so than I think a lot of people would have expected. The kill is just, again, still top of the league. What's working so well for you there?
Guys have bought in. The guys have bought in. They have a lot of pride in killing those penalties, and when we take penalties, they don't get rattled. They just, it's time to kill it and get back to work. And I think the mental part of it is there for us. And they're just doing a good job. They work hard at it, and the penalty kill is a very detailed system, and you really have to be on your game in order not to give up major chances. And I think our guys have really got into the details.
Excellent. All right. Well, again, folks, the Bruins this coming weekend, Friday and Saturday, March 1st and 2nd, puck drop at 7:05 both nights, and you can watch at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Aberdeen or on HockeyTV.com. Listen on 94.1 The Rock or HubCityRadio.com, or of course live on The Rock. Coach, I won't keep you any longer. I appreciate you taking some time to talk to us, though, and best of luck against the Bruins.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, folks, we'll be back with the second portion of Wings Weekly coming up right after this.
Let's make a taco. No, seriously. Start with a tortilla, soft tortilla. Warm it, kiss it. Don't kiss it. Chicken? How about tequila lime chicken? Now we're cooking. Slice this, peel that, snip those. Salsa? Verde. Cheese? Cotija. Oh, forgot to mention guac. That's better. See, anyone can make a taco, but we're not anyone. We're Qdoba, and these are knockout tacos. Qdoba Mexican Eats. Choose flavor.
Welcome back to Wings Weekly. Jay Klein Connect with you as usual. And now, as I promised, a player joining me, Pearson Brandon, of course, from Irvington, New York. Thanks for coming on the show, Pearson.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. What did you guys, as a team, think about the weekend here, the split with Minot? I know, talking with Coach a little bit there, I felt like maybe there were some defensive breakdowns, not as bad as he initially thought on Friday night, but a great bounce back win on Saturday for you guys.
Yeah, I think we were definitely down on Friday. It's a little weird for us because we're used to winning so easily, and I think when we had that streak, everyone talks about the streak, but like it really was a time when we felt like we couldn't be stopped, and then all of a sudden we have all these bumps in the road, and I think Friday was a little bit of a shock, and then Saturday kind of felt like us again. I think we played like we used to, and we played with a little more grit, a little more physicality, and I think we picked it up a lot. So it was good. It was a good bounce back. It was a good game for us.
Yeah, Coach Langer mentioned that too. Actually, the bounce back and the recovery, basically, because as I mentioned to him, down the stretch of that playoff push and into the playoffs, you're going to have some really heated battles, and obviously the playoffs are a series, so you have a tough loss. You got to be able to bounce back for that next game. So that's awesome to see you guys be able to do that. One of the reasons I wanted you to come on the show here today was because obviously you were over playing in the Top Prospects tournament. And I talked with Coach just a little bit ago about the scouts and the attendance and the exposure that you guys have. But walk us through your experience a little bit, especially, you had a lot of hockey going on there. You get home Sunday mornings essentially from Brookings, have to turn around, fly out, get ready to go over in Massachusetts on Monday, Tuesday. So that's gotta be a lot to adjust to.
It was a grind. It was obviously fun getting to go to East Coast for a little bit. I'm from New York, so I got to see Boston a little bit, which I've been there tons of times. Felt like home. But It was a good experience. I mean, for me, it was a little different than the other guys because they had the Central Division team, so they had each other, and they had guys that they know because we play these guys all year. So for me, it was different because I had a different roommate. I roomed with a kid from Brookings. He was a good kid, and I had a whole locker room of guys I didn't know, but I loved it. I mean, I'd never seen so many clipboards in the stands, and and there was just, I don't know, it was a fun environment to kind of play like a different system for a little bit. Like you're so locked into our systems, and then getting to play kind of your own game for like, I wouldn't say selfishly, but kind of show off a little bit if you can. And I think that was the fun part about it.
Right. Well, and you mentioned it. You're a little different experience for you because again, you're not with the other 4 guys from this team that played on the Central, but you're rooming with a guy from Brookings that 24 hours prior is trying to take your head off. Like that's the crazy thing to me about top prospects is about going and playing on a team like that where you're playing against guys like for the Central, for example, like Leach or whatever, that are heavy hitters, and that there get to be some tempers flaring and stuff, and the next thing you know, you're roommates with them or your teammates with them. That's got to be a weird experience in its own right.
It's a crazy thing when you put the same jersey on as somebody. You kind of, I don't know, you start to like him a lot more. I was rooming with Sam Antonucci. He's the kid on Brookings Colorado College Committee. He's an 01. He's a younger guy, but he was I don't know. He was mature. When you're on the same team and you're just playing hockey, it's very different than when Leach is trying to kill you in the corner. And it turns out they're all great guys. Like when you get to know him a little bit, like Leach was a funny guy, even though he's kind of like a goon on the ice the way he plays. But Leach and McBay, and they're all good guys. So it wasn't too hard to adjust, and it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm gonna kill this kid in the locker room. But it was good.
Years ago, there's been players, in and out that some that have a way of just chirping and getting under guys' skin and stuff. And I've heard that before actually, because he was one that was at Top Prospects, and there are guys that went said he was actually a really good, funny guy in the locker room, nice guy. It's kind of hard, I think, for fans to see that the physicality in the game and then have it like be able to be shut off, to be able to, So it's kind of nuts. What do they feed you over there? Like, do they take you as a team and go, or do you have a big like kind of cafeteria type setting, or what was that like?
So at night, if it was kind of like everyone was coming in different times in the airport, so they kind of gave us like pizza and sandwiches and stuff like that. But at the rink, they had full meals. They had potatoes and steamed vegetables and like nice meat and stuff like that. So it was really nice. They really did treat us well.
Excellent.
I loved it.
Excellent. Okay, if you could have just one food to eat for the rest of your life, I mean, nothing else, no variation of it, anything, what would it be?
Oh my. I am a huge fan of a Dunkin' Donuts bacon, egg, and cheese on a croissant back home. I used to eat them all the time, every day during school. I know it's probably not the best for you, but I don't know, something about growing up playing hockey and having Dunkin' Donuts all around you all over the place on the East Coast, and that's kind of what you eat every morning when you're at a tournament or something like that. You kind of grab a bacon, egg, and cheese. I fell in love with it, and I don't know, I kind of got addicted to those, so that's probably what I go with.
Good answer. All right, next I want to ask you about a guy that behind the scenes but does a lot of work for the team, Bailey Shawn.
Oh.
I know you're a fan.
Huge fan.
What is he? How much praise should he get for all the work that he does as trainer and equipment manager?
Bailey does 2 jobs very well. We have a very peculiar relationship. Some would say love and hate. I do most of the loving. He does most of the hating. It's incredible. He really does. He does all the equipment stuff. He does all the skates. He does all the ordering. He does all that. And then when you get hurt, he's there for you. It's really nice to have him here. But yeah, I mean, we have a great relationship. Some might say it's a little weird if you knew the precise details.
He's getting married.
Yes.
And you're adamant that you're going.
Yes.
But he's like, no, there's not a chance you're being allowed in. I
have been asking for an invite from him and his fiance. His fiance does like me more than I think he does, which is a little weird because I know him a lot better. But His wedding is...
Well, maybe that's why.
Yeah, his wedding is in the summer, I think, next year. So I will probably just come to Aberdeen and wait until I can find out when the exact date is and location. And then I'll probably just, go head over and then be his best man or whatever. But, I can't wait. It's going to be a fun time, Bill. See you there.
Okay, Austin's coming up. Last time you guys faced off against Austin over in Austin, it was tough. I mean, that was those guys. They're a real physical team, and like Coach mentioned, defensively they're tough to score on. What do you guys? What do you see as some keys that you've got to do to be able to come away with a couple of points?
I think we do exactly what we did last time. I think we just bear down and we play our game, and I think we have to stay disciplined, which sometimes we do struggle with. Sometimes we get a little out of hand, and it's not even fighting or whatever. It's just kind of stupid little things. But I think if we stay disciplined and we play our offensive game, I think we can just do the same exact thing we did last time. And no matter who's in front of us, I think you can put any team in front of us. I think if we play our game and we stay disciplined, I think we can beat anyone. So,
discipline going to be a key.
Yeah. So I don't care if it's Austin or if it's Shreveport Mudbugs. I think whoever's in front of us, I think we can take them if we just play our game and we don't worry about the other team as much as we worry about ourselves.
Okay, good point. All right, well, a couple of things that I wanted to go over with you folks. Of course, like I mentioned, Friday and Saturday, March 1st and 2nd at Austin. You can watch the game at Buffalo Wings and Rings in Aberdeen or on hockeytv.com or listen on The Rock. Friday and Saturday, March 8th and 9th versus Minnesota Wilderness here back at the Odie. Sunday, March 10th from 1 to 4, the Aberdeen Wings will be teaming up with Aspire for a Bowling Bash 2019. Form a group of 5 and the 6th person will be one of the Aberdeen Wings. The cost is $300. Call Janae at Aspire today at 605-229-0263, extension 1007. Sunday, March 24th, the Wings will be hosting their 3rd annual awards banquet. Doors will open at 5:30 with dinner at 6. Tickets are $20 for adults, $15 for kids 4 to 12, or a table of 8 for $200 with Wings glasses. Visit AberdeenWings.com for more information on the awards banquet. Who's the best bowler on the team? If I'm going to put a team together, who do I want to be my 6th?
I haven't been bowling with the guys this year, but if I had to put money on it, I think Adam Pitters might just be a sleeper when it comes to bowling. I think he might just have some kind of over 200 game out of nowhere. I don't know what it is about him, but I just think the kid can bowl.
That is interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, I would not have picked him. I would have thought Bilal maybe or somebody. But
Bilal's
Pitters,
too old.
what do you? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but bowling oftentimes, that's. Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, he's past that. He's past that. So.
He's past that. Doors open for all Wings home games at 5:30, and the puck will always drop at 7:15. $10 general admission tickets are on sale now at any of the 4 Sea Express locations in Aberdeen with additional purchase. And for all the latest news and information, visit AberdeenWings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That will pretty much wrap up this week's Wings Weekly, folks. Thanks, Pearson, for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me again.
And remember, folks, March 10th, put a team together and get a hold of Janae at 229-0263, extension 1007. Once again, that'll wrap up this week's Wings Weekly.